How we doing, people? Welcome back to Jimmy K's TV and a case for the Blues. It's game week 1. Match reaction, Chelsea 0, Crystal Palace 0. And if you can tell by my voice, I'm not overly excited by that result. I'll be lying if I said that I wasn't disappointed. Feels a bit like an anticlimax to me after the good Club World Cup that we just had. Obviously, there was a short break in between and then 2 pre-season matches that I thought we were playing really well. Looked like we were very organised and that we could continue that going into game week 1. Now, you could argue that maybe we were little bit unprepared. Obviously, we haven't had much preparation going into the season, and I'd understand that as well. Don't think there was any tactical issues today. I'm not hearing that because obviously Levi Colwell's not in the team because of he's done obviously doing his ACL and we can't pass out the back properly. That is one of the fundamental issues of today. I don't think so. I think today was an accumulation of a couple of things. And we'll touch on that. But before we get going, if you could leave a like on the video, I'd very much appreciate it because it does go a long way. And hit the sub if you're new to the channel. We've had a few new subscribers over the last few streams, and we're doing some good numbers recently. So slowly and surely, the channel is growing, and I appreciate everyone that's getting involved. But yeah, I mean, a bit flat today, a bit lackluster. We lacked intensity. Obviously, the main talking point going into the game was who was we going to start at centre back. Obviously, Tosin coming out injured yesterday threw a spanner in the works. Enzo Maresca coming out in his press conference and saying we need a centre back that can do what Levi Colwill does. Obviously, he doesn't trust the ones that he's already got there. He has got a good selection of players that he can choose from. I thought that he would have played Hato, our new signing, Hato. I'm not sure how you pronounce it yet. Reason being, left-footed and physicality up against Mateta, that would have been perfect in my opinion. He went with Josh Acheampong, and as I said, the only worry that I had was the physicality side of things. I did think he struggled against Ruben Loftus-Cheek in his pre-season when it come up to that physical battle. But other than that, I thought Josh had a very good pre-season as well. So I didn't mind the fact that he did start. I thought in the grand scheme of things, he did actually have a good game. There was a few mistakes in there that I'm sure that he will learn from. 2 clear passes out of the back that went straight to a Crystal Palace player that led to chances. 1 in the second half that led to a corner. 1 in the first half that actually led to a goal that we'll touch base on. So looking at this lineups, you had Sanchez in goal. We know that's not going to change. Jorgensen obviously on the bench. We haven't dipped into the market to get that goalkeeper. Left back Cucurella, centre back, left centre back. Actually, Chalobah started left centre back. Josh Acheampong at right centre back. Reece James, Enzo, and Caicedo in that pivot role. Then obviously that pairing has been questioned in the past, and we'll get onto them in a minute as well. Gittins, Palmer, and Neto. Now, I wasn't quite sure how he was going to line up, whether Neto was going to start on the left and Esteval was going to start on the right, because I thought he had a good pre-season and he showed a bit about him. Obviously, we know Palmer's a starter. And then João Pedro up top. Wasn't sure whether Delap was going to start, considering his 2 goals in pre-season. But João Pedro got 5 in 5. So, and we can already see what he can bring to the side as we did in the Club World Cup. So overall, the happy with the lineup. Just the one concern about the centre back position up against Mateta, as I've already said. But yeah, I think we started off the game really well, and even Josh started the game really well. He took out about 4 players driving out of the back. Now that's one thing I will say about Josh. Okay, we might lose a bit of that passing through the lines with Levi not being there, Tosin not being there, but Acheampong, he's not afraid to pick up the ball and drive through the defence and take a few players on. He did it a few times today, and I thought it was quite good. And then he got the ball out and we started to play. So that's one positive that we can take away from that scenario, seeing what he can do. Now, obviously, the partnership with Josh and Chalobah as well is a bit of a concern because we haven't seen much from them. So the only thing we can do is play the game and see how it plays out. Now, like I said, I thought we started okay. We won a fair few corners to begin with. We started with intent, but then when it got to about 10 minutes into the game kind of flipped on its head, and then you saw Crystal Palace attacking our goal, and then you started to see the sloppiness kick in. You started to see, we weren't comfortable. We started making mistakes. The passing at the back, the clearances weren't great. We looked all over the places at times. And then there's a pass out of the back from Josh, which goes straight to one of the Crystal players and leads to a foul on the edge of the box by Cucurella. Silly place to give it away, right inside the D on the edge of the box. And I'm looking at it going, this is a goal. This is a goal. Ezzy's more than capable of whipping this in the back of the net. He did score in the fixture last year. And lo and behold, he steps up and smashes it straight into the goal. Now, if it's me, I'm looking at the goalkeeper saying, you've got to do better there. And I'm not going to lie, I'm a little bit concerned about what I saw from Robert Sanchez in that free kick scenario. Now, obviously, the rest of the game, I thought he done fine. Let's get that clear. I thought he was fine for the rest of the game. There was a few moments where he kicked the ball out, but you're not going to get a 10 out of like 100% performance. Like, you can't expect that every single week. He kicked the ball out once, whoop-de-doo, yeah? But for that free kick, I thought he could have saved it. The ball smashed in at pace, obviously. Now, you could argue that. Could argue that he saw it late, but the ball's here. You just got to stick your arms out and block it, make a save. And he doesn't. It goes straight in. Crystal Palace go 1-0 up. VAR intervenes. Now, this is something new that we haven't seen given in the Premier League yet. It is a rule that's existed since 2019. And it's the rule that if an attacking player is not 1 metre away from the wall, then it's an indirect free kick to the other side. Now, originally, looking at the free kick, I thought it was a foul on Caicedo because Mark Gay completely pushes him out of the way, and then the ball travels through that direction and it's a goal. But the actual foul or offence in this scenario was that Mark Gay, in doing that, took him within 1 metre from the wall before the ball was kicked, and VAR ruled it out. So really, it was an offence, but we got lucky as well. We could have been 1-0 down there. And if it was 1-0, we wasn't scoring because it felt like that for the majority of the game. I thought we was very sloppy today on the ball. Our touches, our passing wasn't great, making the wrong decisions. Our link-up wasn't there today. I didn't think João Pedro held the ball up very well. I don't think our wingers offered much today. Gittin started well and kind of filtered out and then didn't really manage to get hold of the ball. We lacked control today. We couldn't get a hold of that ball and control the game and dictate it the way that we like to. But you've also got to give credit to Palace. This is another team that are coming off of the back of a high, winning the FA Cup, winning the Community Shield, and they're now on a 10-game unbeaten run. They've got a fantastic manager in Glasner. They've got a very good set-up, structured system, and they've got players that complement that system. So, when I saw the team sheet, I was thinking, do you know what? Palace have got a decent side here. And I tell you what, that Walton is a fantastic player, and it won't be long before he gets a big move. Someone needs to stop City buying this player, because if nobody does, he's going there, because he's fantastic on the ball. There was one chance in the first half where he slotted in Mateta. Mateta should have scored. He hit it straight at Sanchez. But the vision to see that pass and to get it bang on, fantastic. But yeah, that first half, very underwhelming. I'll be honest with you, very underwhelming. I thought a fair few individual performances weren't good enough. Gittins, I thought Enzo had an absolute stinker in that first half. He looked way off of it. Way off it. He was messing up everything that we was trying to do. Just giving the ball away and it was coming back to us. His touches was poor. Passing, poor. Wasn't really helping. And then we moan about, okay, we can't pass out the back. It must be because Levi Colwell's there. But at the same time, we didn't have any intensity on the pitch. We weren't moving around trying to receive the ball. You're expecting them to do, amazing passes just to get something off, But either way, the only real talking point in that first half was probably the Eze free kick. We go in 0-0 to the second half. No changes in the second half. And it does improve. I won't lie. We were better on the ball. In terms of what we were doing, trying to score, I still feel like it was slow. The build-up was slow. We lacked intensity. We couldn't get it going. No matter what we tried, we just couldn't get it going. I thought we did all right defensively in moments. I think Palace looked, I'll say that when they were attacking, I felt a little bit worried that they were going to score. And when we were attacking, I didn't feel like we was going to score. We saw some substitutions made. We saw Santos come on. We saw Esteval come on. We saw Gusto come on. We saw Delap come on. The Delap substitution, I thought, worked. I thought when he come on, his hold-up play was good. It added another, dimension to how he was trying to play. But overall, it's just wasn't good enough today, to be fair. Now, it's only a draw. It's only game week 1. It's 1 point. We're going to have to take that and we're going to have to move on. But we need to do better in the next game. Like I said, you could argue that we're not prepared enough so far. We haven't had much preparation going into this season. But we take on West Ham now away. They've just lost 3-0 to Sunderland, who have just come up to the Premier League. And they look like a shambles. So this is a good game for us going into game week 2 to, try and implement what we was doing in pre-season. Now, if we could play anything like what we did in pre-season, we should have a very, very good season. Just today, we didn't do it. I don't think it was a tactical issue. I don't think it was a managerial issue. I'll be honest with you. I just think the players didn't play well today. Just didn't play well. And we still managed to get a point. We didn't lose. So we can take that positive as much as people want to complain that the game and the result was shit. I'll be honest with you, it was shit. But at the end of the day, we haven't lost the game, and we take the draw. We just have to take that and move on. I've seen a lot of reactions. I take my time out and I watch the reactions online to see how people are, and it's the same reactions that I saw at the start of the season last year. Very over the top, over dramatic. Now's not the time to be over the top and over dramatic. We're not going to win every single game. We're not going to win 38 games. It's never been done before. It ain't going to happen. So let's not overreact. And as I say, you've got to give Palace their credit as well, because they're looking like a very good, strong side. I'll be honest with you. I can see them doing very well this season. They look very, very organised. And like I said, their players complement their system. Now, if Eze leaves that system, could be problematic, but they've still got Sarr there, who's a very good player. Wharton's a very good player. Muniz is a very good player. Mitchell complements that setup. I thought he done very well today against Neto. I thought he just physically just kept pushing him off the ball. Couldn't really do much. Esteval come on today. He looked lively again. As soon as he come on, created a chance at the back post. A little bit too high for Neto. But yeah, skillful players, willing to try things. He's very positive, runs at players. Do we start him in the next game? Gittins, I thought, filtered out today. I don't think he actually had a good game in the grand scheme of things. Do we play Neto on the left? Do we leave Esteval on the right? Do we play Delap over João Pedro? Or are we we're analysing it too much too soon, Are we going to try and make all these changes straight away just because we've got a draw and we haven't got a win? Or should we trust what we're doing straight away? Me personally, I'd probably keep it as it is. I don't want to rush Esteval into playing every single week just because of the expectation. I want him to ease his way into it and then ball out. And I think that's exactly what happened. We saw Andre Santos come on today and he missed an absolute sitter today. It wasn't an absolute sitter. It weren't like an open goal, but it was a good opportunity for him to take a touch and just wrap it in the back of the net. He hit it first time, smashed it over the bar. Then he had another opportunity where he laid down a header to Delap. Delap just couldn't get there in time. We saw Gusto shooting from 30 yards again. When is this player going to understand that he cannot shoot? It's like me shooting. I'm a defender. I cannot shoot. Just stop doing it. Just stop doing it. Anyway, thanks for tuning. I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for tuning in. Leave a like on the video. Hit the sub button. We'll do the live stream on Friday when we play West Ham away. And join me there. Like I said, we're doing some good numbers on the live streams recently, and we're getting a fair few subscribers now to the channel. Slowly but surely, it continues to grow, and I very much appreciate everybody that's part of what we're doing here. So, love. I'll see you on the next one.